Now we play the game of waiting to see if Sabo appears.
You know what? I'm gonna leave that in. Hello.
No,
Welcome.
that's how. That's how we're opening. That's how we're opening this episode of Okami.
Yes, we're definitely playing Okami. Didn't you know Arc Systems and Way Forward worked on it?
Yeah, makes sense. Must have handled the new port.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
get like to get those big studios to work on it, but you know.
You know, it'd be like that. Just had to adjust the audio a little bit. There we go. But yeah, for the audience, the reason I switched games is I haven't replayed Okami in a long time, and from the last recording I realized it's going to be a recurring issue where I don't know where to go because we're talking about bullshit and I forget to pay attention.
It's because you're bad, I got you.
Yes.
No, don't worry, friend. Don't worry, friend.
Yes.
I know.
So, I was like, alright, we're going to do something that I've beaten before, and, you know, recently, and can go through fairly easily. So I chose River City Girls 1. Why 1? Because I haven't recorded 1 yet. It'd be really silly to do 2
That would be silly.
without doing 1. We're gonna do a New Game Plus playthrough. So I'm gonna have all of my shit from my previous playthrough, which is 95% of the fucking game, but the game's gonna be harder. But I'll have all my stats, items, and techniques. We'll be playing on...
No, sorry.
Do I want to do
You
hard
continue-
mode?
No.
Okay, let's not do hard mode. And,
You definitely don't want to do hard mode because if it gets to a point where because you're not going to be able to focus as much.
True, and also too because
bullshit.
it's already technically a harder version of the game, just with more of my stuff at the start. So yeah, I have all the characters unlocked, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm never gonna fucking touch Ricky or Kunio. So I think today we'll start with Misako, and then tomorrow, and then each recording we'll switch between the two of them. So next recording will be Kyoko. So Misako's first. For you, Train, Misako's the one with short hair. Kyoko's the redhead.
I'll pretend that means anything to me.
Always gotta pretend.
That's it. I'm dead.
But, anyway, Sony announcements. Woo.
Yeah, so I watched that trailer that everyone's been talking about, and I was like, man, this is called Helldivers 2, but why is this not just straight up? Why is this just straight up Starship Troopers? especially at a time when there's already a Starship Troopers game.
To be fair, I didn't watch that trailer because I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched a couple of things that I were interested in, and by that I mean like 2 things, 3 things.
Yeah, it was actually it wasn't a terrible showcase. There was a lot of stuff that's like, who gives a fuck? It's like, oh no, Squeenix is doing a Splatoon clone. And I'm like, is Splatoon even relevant anymore? Like, I know it's had 3 games, but barely anyone ever talks about them, I feel like.
Don't look at me. I don't know.
I know Splatoon has like a dedicated fan base, but I thought that fan base was like the most I've ever heard about like Splatoon and like anything actually related to Splatoon was that time they were like fuck Nintendo because you hurt Melee.
I don't know. I didn't really... I played Splatoon 1 a little bit on the Wii U back in the day, and I thought it was just kind of eh. So I'm kind of the wrong person to...
I had fun
Oops.
with Splatoon 1 and 2.
Oops, I accidentally
Did you
minimized
break
the game.
it?
No, I actually just minimized the game. So I was going to my phone. Since this game has to be played in full screen, I have a timer. I forgot to set the timer. Very professional.
I just came up with it. Whoa.
Very.
But,
Like,
yeah, I just never really cared about it. Like, I thought the art and the music was fine, but, like, when I played it, I just didn't, like, click with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a bad game.
It's fine. I liked it, but it's a game I would only ever play when I was playing with friends. Which, is what it is. So yeah, having Squeenix do their version of it, I'm like, well, this will probably end well, and by end well, I mean it will end quickly.
Like, I don't give a shit about them making their own, because I don't care about other companies making their own versions of a type of game, because
Yeah.
I honestly support that because that's how you get more interesting stuff. Not that I think this is an interesting game, but you know what I mean. But Nintendo fans really hate it whenever anybody else makes anything inspired by something that Nintendo made. But they love it if Nintendo does it. They absolutely love that shit. Because you see, it's not copying if Nintendo does it, it's inspired.
I wonder who took Kunio and Ricky.
It's usually because
I wonder
Nintendo
who
just
sent
steal
us that
from
text message.
people who
Huh?
they own it, who they own anyway,
Yeah.
Find out.
like Argonaut for Star Fox.
Oh yeah, when Miyamoto literally killed them so he could get their shit. Because he was having trouble developing Star Fox 64.
Or killed it so he could steal
Sent
concepts
us that text.
and make sure that there was no competition.
Blocked
Yep.
color. That's a weird name.
But you know, that's
Damn it.
Miyamoto for you. Speaking of that, Metal Gear Delta, which I don't actually know what that even is, to be honest. They were pretty vague. It's like just a CG trailer that has nothing to do with Metal Gear, and then suddenly there's Snake. And then Snake's there. Just snacking around.
Solidus Snecko.
Oh, look, it's those girls. Thought I
But,
smelled something.
And I did watch the little, like, teaser thing for the remake of 3, and I'm like,
Hey,
okay.
Miyako.
I still, it's Konami, so I don't, like, fully trust them, so
We
well,
broke
it is
up.
what it is. They're re-releasing the old games anyway, so that's what I'm more interested in.
Yeah,
And I
I mean,
can
I
do
think
my
that was the
schooling
smart
out here.
play.
Oh,
especially
yeah!
Considering,
I honestly...
especially considering
Go ahead.
we've
Just like
been
every day.
well, especially considering we're in that weird point where we've had lots of remakes of classic games that they've either refused to port, or I say classic. We've had things like the remake of Dead Space where they've refused to, release it or port like the originals.
I genuinely think that more companies should do that, where they port the original, because, like, I wish Capcom would port, like, the original, Resident Evil 1 through 3 on the PC. I would fucking buy it. Like, I prefer, like Resident Evil 2 remake is fine, but there are things about it I don't like as much as the original, and I prefer the original, and I would love to have the original on Steam.
But they're crazy.
Yeah.
Oh? They think they're dating Kunio and Ricky.
But,
What?
you know.
Better not be. Relax.
But yeah, I do hope that more companies do that, because that is good.
More broken if they ever
Yeah, they
touch
were
my
just. It's
Ricky.
just more the fact it's super vague. They're just like, oh yeah, here's Metal Gear Delta. And to be honest, I'm not even entirely convinced it is a remake. I mean, they might have said by now that it's a remake, but
I think they did, but I could be wrong.
Welcome, students.
By the time this video comes out, we'll see maybe gameplay.
yeah, probably.
That's 'cause
I say that, and this is like the one time where I uploaded immediately.
stands for punching, until, bricks,
And then there was a Final Fantasy 16 trailer where like the game comes out in like a month. And we have literally still no fucking idea what's gonna happen in that game.
Where we
Yeah.
Downstairs. We'll exit through the front.
You know what though? I was happy to see. I was happy to see Dragon's Dogma, too, which sure looks like Dragon's Dogma 1, which for me is good. That makes me happy. Like, actually, as weird as it might sound, there was so much in it for a person who played the first game that was recognizable.
It's an O still working on Dragon's Dogma, isn't it?
Yes.
So it makes sense.
But,
I'm glad it's coming out, so maybe we can get Devil May Cry for 6.
I mean, yeah, I like Devil May Cry 6 too, but listen, I don't think you understand how long I've waited for this fucking game.
I just said I'm glad it's coming out.
Yeah, you said it's glad it's coming out, so you get 6.
Yeah.
You disrespectful cunt.
Being disrespectful. I'm just saying I'm glad that you're getting your game, so now I can get my game.
I mean, that's also my game, because I do want Devil May Cry 6 as well. I mean, the game that I really want Capcom to make will never get made. It's dead and buried, and I watched it die live on stream.
5?
No. Mega Man Legends 3.
Oh yeah.
It's a rare opportunity where we get to see a game die live in front of a studio audience. It's a very rare sight, honestly. Also, I forgot how good the music is in this game. I know I just played the second game, like, late last year, but still. And, like, that game was on my games of the year for last year.
Well, I can't hear the music, so I'll take your word for it. But I also won't take your word for it, and I'll just assume it's ungodly trash.
I don't
Just
think
like
it'd be
you.
your thing.
Just like you.
It's fine, you're also trash. That's why we're together. That's why Sabo left us.
Sabo's the most trash.
It's true, he does like Gundam Seed.
I was kind of expecting that dinosaur survival game to crop up at the Sony thing. But man, when I saw that Final Fantasy 16 trailer, and then I saw that comes out in like a few weeks, which will probably be out by the time this video comes out.
Probably.
And I'm like, what? I have literally no idea what any of what you just said in that game, in that trailer was. How is this game just about to come out? It's like, yeah, I recognize the names I've heard from other games, and it's like, I like Ifrit. Ifrit's fun, except when he was in 15.
Maybe they're taking cues from Mortal Kombat.
What?
Not telling us shit.
I mean, that's only just because Ed Boon's not thought of it yet.
The game's supposed to come out this year, which makes it funnier. They haven't shown a lick of gameplay, but they've shown you all the ways they're gonna charge you for it.
Did I not? I just told you, Ed Boon's not thought of any of that yet.
He's only thought about how to make you pay for things.
They'll decide on that midway through development.
Actually, they did. Was it the fucking? We actually know what the season pass is gonna be, and there's 3 fucking guest characters. Do you want me to tell you them?
Yeah, tell me. I'm done.
All right. Omni-Man.
Oh, I did actually hear that.
Homelander, Peacemaker.
No way. Flies are
I mean,
easy to hurt.
those. I mean.
Oh, hello, Sabo. He's back from the dead.
I live again.
Welcome back to Okami, which is totally the game I'm playing right now.
Go to this school.
Shut up! I'm
But,
trying to earn extra money.
I mean, yeah, those sound like characters that people will. I mean, people like Omni-Man, and
For 7 years.
I don't know, man. I've never seen The Boys.
I do think it's. I just think it's funny because because it's really like obvious like trendy like guest character picks, and I think it's really funny. But I have to say, hold on, I'm not done yet. I have seen a number of MK fans that are pissed about it, and I can kind of understand them because I remember Tekken 7's guest characters.
I mean,
half of them were good because Akuma and Geese were good, but then we had fucking Negan and
yeah, but it's a catch-22.
Noctis.
Well, here's the problem when you're gonna do guest characters, is that inevitably you're always gonna disappoint a good amount of people who don't care about X character. It's like, it was like, you know, always going to be. That's why, like, you know, Smash Brothers reveals got like so controversial.
Well, no, that's because Smash Brothers players don't play anything other than Smash Brothers.
Yeah, when like a Smash tuber I don't watch, but like see in other things. Then when in a video someone said pointing out when Sephiroth revealed you didn't know who that was, I was like, man, this is, you know what? This is why I'm happy that the world is doomed.
So how do you not know who Sephiroth is?
Humanity doesn't deserve to live.
Remember, Nintendo fans said that Kazuya wasn't as big of a bit as Banjo-Kazooie.
I mean, even my sister knows who Sephiroth is, and she does not play games or have anything to do with Final Fantasy.
My fucking 41-year-old sister, who's never even like, who has never heard of like Final Fantasy, or at least I thought she had, suddenly came out to me, yeah, like a couple weeks ago, referencing a fucking YouTube clip of someone playing One Winged Angel. And so, yeah.
One Winged Angel was all over the place when we were like in middle school and high school.
Yeah, but when we were in like when we were in high school, she was in fucking college, so.
Yeah, but I mean, like it was still like that big.
I'd rather give you a hug.
Like One Winged Angel was all over the place on the internet back then.
But it's more of the I've never heard her reference ever, like anything Final Fantasy or anything related to that, and then suddenly she references One Winged Angel, and I'm like,
I mean,
how the fuck is
Seven,
like,
out of the Final Fantasy though, 7 is definitely in the mainstream.
Well, yeah, but that's my point. Why is like someone who has nothing to do with video games be able to reference Final Fantasy 7?
Because 7's in the mainstream, man. That's really all it comes down to. Like,
No,
this fucking game I'm playing here is not in the mainstream.
Let me finish. I'm trying to say, why couldn't she reference Final Fantasy 7, but people who are quote-unquote gamers fucking don't know who Sephiroth is?
Smash people only play Smash, and that's it. They only play
But anyway-
Nintendo, and they only look at Nintendo.
But yeah, my main point is that like guest characters.
But
always gonna be
RPGs are also
delighted.
scary.
But my main point is that well, what I was trying to say is that you know, guest characters are always going to be somewhat problematic because you know, you're never going to be able to appeal to everyone, and especially when like MK11, it's like, hey, look, it's your dad's version of Smash Brothers with this roster.
It really was.
Everyone. It's like, look at all of these ancient fucking characters that nobody gives it, that none of the people, that I think none of the people who are like reviewing or playing this game are old enough to have ever seen in like an an actual movie. It's like, oh yeah, here's Rambo, hot property.
Everyone knows Rambo.
Now we get to have the Terminator. It's just like as 80s
I
as
mean-
you get, so it makes sense why they're doing like, oh, now we're gonna do modern stuff, and I'm like, it's
I
just
mean,
not
Terminator's had several movies, and it had a new one that was
No, it
on-
hasn't. We don't talk about those movies.
I'm
Okay.
sorry that happened.
All right, we may not talk about them, but you know,
I don't think nobody talks about those movies, so they've all been.
I've
like,
met weirdos who specifically prefer the fucking remake or a reboot of RoboCop over the original. They're dumb. They're wrong, but they do.
yeah. So you know, I mean,
Are you sure you weren't talking to ChatGPT or whatever?
I
it's
was
called?
talking to a person.
I'm not.
I wasn't talking to a chat AI. I swear to God.
You can't see, but I am pressing X to doubt, like right now.
I mean, I believe that you're definitely pressing X to doubt, but unfortunately, you have to remember, people are dumb.
you know, but I mean, I can't see people maybe knowing who the Terminator is vaguely through pop culture as osmosis, even if they haven't watched the movie.
Yeah,
Even
like I'm gonna admit something. I've never watched Back to the Future, but I know Back to the Future because of osmosis.
I mean, I didn't watch Back to the Future until I was like 15 years old, which was like
That's still more than watching than I have. I haven't watched
yeah,
any of them.
Yeah, so
you should watch the first. They're really good. And the third one is okay. I guess speaking of okay movies, I watched the Super Mario Brothers movie in preparation for looking after my nieces next week because they'll probably. I assume they'll want to watch it.
what do you think?
It's okay.
That's about what I figured. I want to
It's
watch
like-
at some point.
It's like, but I don't think. I think like maybe 2-3 of the jokes, the whole movie landed. And there was a lot of stuff where I was like, "That's not what I would do." Like Charles Martinet's cameo. Chris Pratt wasn't offensive, but only because it's just actually, it sure is just Chris Pratt.
Hey, it's me, Mario.
It's a me.
The only weird thing is at the very beginning of the movie shows that Chris Pratt can in fact do a very good impression of the Mario voice. So it was like, well, they could have done that. They just thought it would be grating.
I mean, no more grating than fucking Cranky Kong. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, that was like, oh, just
That is the worst.
an angry Jewish grandpa version of Cranky Kong.
Cranky Kong. It's like, oh my fucking god, that was awful. That was somehow worse than what I was expecting Seth Rogen Donkey Kong to be. And I wasn't a fan of Seth Rogen Donkey Kong.
I Seth Rogen
anyway.
Donkey Kong was literally just Seth Rogen.
Yeah, it's just Seth Rogen, and somehow Cranky Kong's worse.
I haven't heard the Cranky Kong. I'm gonna watch the movie at some point. I'm fully expecting to be completely acceptable.
I'm gonna piss people off and say, weirdly, I think I actually like the Sonic movie a bit better.
Uh-oh, you're gonna get the Nintendo and the Nintendo fans after you. Ooh, careful.
Yeah, I know.
I still need to
And
watch the
be
second
honest-
Sonic movie, to be honest.
to
I've
be honest,
seen the first
part
one.
of- To be honest, part of the reason I like the Sonic movie as much might be because I'm just happy to see James Bond in the movie not get cut. I was genuinely like waiting. Is Sonic gonna steal his girlfriend?
No, he doesn't.
See?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. It's like, oh, that's actually, it's, you know, bit of a cute father-son thing. But yeah, I was like terrified.
That we're gonna do Hedgehog on Women Love.
It's not even that. It was just.
It wouldn't be
oh,
the
no,
first
don't-
time the franchise did it, to be fair.
Yeah, but
Do
it,
you want?
I wasn't even like that. It was just more of the. Oh please! I've seen him in like 3 things where he gets cut. I can't do not a fourth one.
Yeah,
Don't
just
do
on
it
the
to him,
street.
please.
Exactly. Bring me a double
He
murder
finally got the dub.
handsomely rewarded.
Finally.
Ladies,
Not like Superman Returns might be the worst one, even in counting Westworld, where his whole character is to die and let his girlfriend get a word I can't say because we get demonetized. Haha.
Wait, we have monetization?
I'm gonna say you're monetized.
When the fuck did I get
No.
monetized?
No. It's more of the just watching lots of. I've just been seeing lots of people now having to hard dance around certain words, which. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Somehow Superman Returns is the worst one because that's not only did he get cut, but it's like his child that he thinks he's raising is actually Superman's kid.
Oh.
So, you know, nice to see he didn't get cut by Sonic, and that might be why the movie gets slightly above the Super Mario Brothers movie.
You know, I've heard dumber reasons for liking a movie.
What else got revealed in that Sony showcase? Oh yeah, Saber, did you watch the FF16 trailer?
I mean, I've seen several of them.
You don't know what's happening in that game? Because I don't.
It's Final
Crystal
Fantasy.
or something.
Crystal.
Yeah, but I mean, feels like we know somehow even less than we know about normal Final Fantasies. And I was kind of expecting this one to be, you know, sensical, considering it's not done by Nomura. Like, he's too busy in the Kingdom Hearts mines now. Well, actually, you know, it's
It's
just
okay,
Kingdom Hearts. 'Cause-
He did decartoonify Sora, though.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised we didn't get a Kingdom Hearts 4 thing. I knew we weren't going to get like a Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 because they won't talk about that until after 16 comes out. Which, you know, makes sense. But yeah. I was glad to not hear about Death Stranding 2 because man, I did not have the energy to fucking go into that. I've kind of come around to hating Death Stranding.
I always did.
I mean, even more than I did before.
I always did. I've always been here. Correct.
Trying to think what else. Oh yeah, Alan Wake 2. Finally. Fucking finally. Christ. Been sat here waiting for that game to come out for
Did he always
actual
look so
years.
much like, John Wick?
Huh? No, that one was new. He used to just be like short haired. He had short hair and like
I thought so.
like- he had short hair and he had like just stubble, not like a full on beard. So, but yeah, it's nice that we're finally going back to Alan Wake because I really like that first game. Well, I like it. It has a special place in my heart, and I accept it for its flaws, many flaws.
I mean, like I said earlier, I'm really happy about Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma has some weird quirks to it, and part of me's like, yeah, I want those though. I hope they're still there.
I hope Barry comes back.
Let me know if you want anything.
Barry is the best character of Alan Wake. What else got revealed that we can talk about? Or what else got like a big trailer at the showcase that we can talk about? I'm struggling to think, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't think of any other games that were shown. Saber, do you have any
Saber.
ideas?
I didn't even watch it, to be honest. I didn't even know it was coming out. I only know Alan Wake 2 is a thing because my one friend was like, "Oh my god, Alan Wake
Okay,
2."
let's see here. Talked about Metal Gear, Dragon's Dogma, Starship Trooper. I don't think there was anything else.
I mean, there was that cute. There was like that cute game about like the guy jumping off of the pages. That seemed cute. I like cute games like that.
Eh,
Uh,
I guess that was it. Guess we don't have anything else to talk
Yeah.
about.
yeah. Weird. You would think like there'd be some other like big reveal considering, but
Yeah.
I guess not. I guess just.
Nah.
Oh wait, I remember.
Oh, huh?
Spider-Man 2 got a trailer.
Oh yeah.
No, that one I did. Oh yeah, that one I did see where he's like wearing the black suit.
Yeah. He is like, I'll give Yuri Lowen full credit. He is getting dangerously close to get back here, sucker! You can't escape me! I mean, definitely better than the last guy they got to voice a black suited Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
I fucking saw a clip of someone. I saw someone post a video that was like, the best clip from Web of Shadows, and I was like, oh yeah, what one is this? And I heard the voice, and I'm like, oh right, this fucking voice.
Let me know if you want
Genuinely the
anything.
worst voice you could have gotten. Oh. But yeah, they revealed Spider-Man 2. Well, I mean, we already knew it existed, but now they're like, actual, here's gameplay, and it's coming out this year.
It looks good. I won't be able to play it for another like 4 years when it comes out on the PC version, but I'm looking forward to that in 4 years.
Might not be as long. It might not be as long because there were a couple things in the showcase they announced was coming out simultaneously for PlayStation.
Yeah, I
PC,
looked
so-
I looked online for it specifically and didn't see anything like that.
So I know it has not announced it, but I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be like the full 4 year. We'll see.
It'll probably be
But,
like 3 or 2.
But yeah, kind of. I'm curious about how they're gonna handle like the black suit because the kind of problem with doing that with like the story in game is like, like one of the things about having the black suit is you kind of want to have like those crazy weird black suit powers, but obviously at a certain point in the story you kind of have to not have
I
them.
think I know what they're gonna do.
Oh yeah.
The robot suit.
Maybe. Synthetic symbiote suit. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that's what they're gonna do.
I kind.
I think New
as
Game
far-
Plus will let it be a thing that you can just like unlock and wear.
I will say I really hope they put in a classic black suit costume because not a fan of like how that or like the weird text of all the like weird textures on it.
I kind of like it. It also it looks like it's contouring to the Spider-Man suit underneath of it. Because a lot of those markings are like from the suit that he has under that thing. So it makes sense to me.
I mean, it makes sense. I'm just.
I don't know, I kind of like it.
I mean, there's a few other things I'm hopeful for. I hope they don't linger too long on Kraven because Kraven is just.
I don't think Kraven's gonna be the main focus.
Oh, he's definitely not.
I think he's like the
obviously-
starter villain, basically.
He's the Mr. Negative from the first game, where they hype up. Where in the trailers they're like, "Oh man, it's Mr. Negative. Everyone's gonna like, everyone knows Mr. Negative." And it's like, "Oh," and then surprise, it'll be like Goblin and or Venom because they've already established those two.
There's definitely gonna be a fight between Miles and Symbiote Peter. I got a feeling.
Well, I mean, we already know Venom's in the game. because they
Yeah,
already
no, I
announced-
mean like before we get Venom, I think that's gonna
Oh,
happen.
probably. But I mean, we also know Venom's in the game because they revealed Venom's voice actor in
Yeah.
that first trailer.
Who's that?
But here's the problem, right? In like with the whole doing Kraven versus Mr. Negative, and we talked about Kraven having one storyline
That's
and
not a thing.
as being a story you can't really do a lot of the time because well, it involves him shooting himself in the head.
Yeah.
But Mr. Negative, you can kind of get away with pushing as hard because, oh man, it's Mr. Negative. Like fucking nobody in like except people like desperately in the know who this fucking character is. So like, people are gonna be like, oh, who is this strange character? You can have all these army of YouTube videos of people talking about.
Where people are like,
Mr.
who is
Negative.
Mr. Negative?
In these issues and blah blah blah. But Kraven's like just a C-list chump. Like, he's just a loser.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself?
Big fat phony.
Rip-off artist.
Like, funnily enough, me and a friend were talking about Spider-Man 3 yesterday, as we do. As I always talk about people with things that I like and also simultaneously hate. Well, I don't like Spider-Man 3, but more important, I talk about Spider-Man, a franchise I love so much I hate it.
Locked. Hit the door.
Which is, I think completely fair.
Hang on, that might not be
And
necessary.
it kind of reminded me of like, this whole thing with Kraven reminds me of like
You remember
that
me?
movie's problem, which is obviously it's got too many
Once money
villains,
once.
and like
Yeah.
Raimi clearly wanted to do Sandman for whatever reason, and he insists, and so he tries to focus on Sandman. But here's the problem with doing Sandman as a villain, right? Sandman's a fucking nobody.
How do we get inside?
He is a guy who got sand powers, and he was like, I'm gonna
Actually
rob
wake up and
banks.
come to work.
Like, there's nothing more to
No,
him.
we need to get in
That's
there
it.
now.
There's nothing more you can really do. You can't escalate the stakes. It's like, yep, here is a man he has made of sand.
And if you think I'm gonna download the
So
digital
obviously,
manga
the
version,
smart thing would have been to
you are
focus on Venom and New
mistaken.
Goblin. Like
I
that
don't
would be
know
the
what
better
any of
thing
that
to
means.
emphasize.
Where's
But
this guard live?
alas, we
In
got
order to be
Sandman,
late,
and
but I wouldn't
yeah, that's
call
kind
that
of how I'm a
late.
bit worrying about Craven. It's
I mean,
just-
I'm not really too worried.
We'll see. We'll see. But also, funny enough, talking about Spider-Man 3, seeing how Lizard is going to grow big, or at least, like, you know, bigger, I'm getting PTSD flashbacks to that, to Spider-Man 3's video game.
I
that
don't know.
also-
I'm not as...
that-
Maybe I'm just not as
that-
cynical as you. I'm not really worried.
It did actually give me another, like, kind of mildly amusing thing I took note of, which is that, like, Spider-Man movies keep ripping off things from the cartoons and fucking them up
That must be his
royally.
house.
I mean, a lot of, like,
Obviously-
the stuff with this, like, the Peter's brain and shit like that with the symbiote suit was from the cartoon.
Well, yeah, that's my point. So, like, that animated series was kind of the definitive black suit story because everyone apes from that because Peter being made aggressive wasn't a thing in the comics. It was just, oh, he found out the suit was alive, and he was like, ew, get this off.
Yeah.
So that is all the cartoon, like, all the 90s show pushed for that. And obviously Spider-Man 3 then tried to do that,
Well,
and it
someone
fumbled.
the reason they did that is just to expedite the storyline. So it's not like, you know, Spidey wears the black suit for a very long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. But it also makes sense
It's like,
because
okay,
otherwise...
Spidey needs to wear the black suit just long enough for it to imprint on him to make Venom.
But it also makes sense because it then explains why Venom is stronger than Spider-Man when, you know, Venom shouldn't be. If you're not going to, like, make that deal about it being stronger and being more aggressive, it doesn't really make as much sense why so it just works a hell of a lot better than the original does, which, you know, I like the original story, but that is just a better version, and that's what most other adaptations ape off of. And that would be one thing if that was like the only time a movie had ripped off from the cartoon. But then you remember Spectacular Spider-Man made their Electro by having him fall into a vat of electric eels.
I am a being of pure energy.
And that's what Amazing Spider-Man 2 did. We all remember how that movie went. Terribly. So you're like, okay, fine, that's a weird coincidence that there's two of the Spider-Man movies that are just do that. But, you know, these things happen. And then you remember that film, No Way Home, looked into the Spider-Verse and was like, we can do that, but worse. So, you know. Good thing we've only made bad Spider-Man cartoons since then. So we don't have to worry about them stealing any good ideas, ruining any good ideas from those. But yeah, I am excited, but I'm just gonna temper it a little. I'm gonna wait and see what they pull, because on the bright side, there aren't any like MCU movies coming out for them to just fucking wank off like they did with some of the suit choices in Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah, because
Like
the movies are not a huge thing anymore.
they're all
Yeah.
dead.
They've ruined it.
Did they ruin it, or did those movies ruin themselves?
No, they ruined it.
Soiled it!
It's like superhero fatigue. Man, I told you people would get tired of those movies. No, they just decided to be stupid.
They made bad movies. Turns out, you make bad movies, people don't watch them.
Yeah.
Except Avatar for some reason.
Well, that's a cultural experience, man. You gotta get it.
What cultural experience?
Well, the Native Americans, but you know, we're gonna appropriate their culture for this movie made by
They're
a
just
white
shitty
guy.
space elves!
Yeah. So what are you gonna say, Sabo?
So apparently the issue is that Marvel would, if they used X-Men and Fantastic Four movies, Marvel would still have to share profits with them until like 2025, and that's why they've been hemming and hawing so long on using the X-Men and the Fantastic Four instead of immediately jumping into them.
You know,
Instead-
that sounds like them. That
Instead
makes
they're
sense.
like, well, we'll just make some movies with, you know, all these characters. You know, I mean, people like the Guardians of the Galaxy. They'll like anything. Wrong.
Factually incorrect.
And also, they're closing the Star Wars hotel.
Yeah, I saw
The
that.
one that cost like what, $1 billion or something. To
Yeah,
make?
it's ridiculous how much it costs.
But then you're like asking people, oh, you got to spend $2,000 a night.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, you'll get some die-hard Star Wars fans who'll do that, but they ain't gonna do it every night. And if it's it's a niche, yeah, Star Wars is a cultural phenomenon, but it's still a niche It's still niche
Yes,
in the sense.
people say it's like they're being marketed to millionaire Star Wars fans. It turns out there's not that many of those.
I mean,
Yeah.
there probably are, but they probably have better things to spend their millions of dollars on than staying in a hotel that's not like 5 stars, caters to their every whim,
Yeah, it's like
provides free prostitutes for them.
as well as the fact that it's all about you know, the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, so
Like,
even the die-hard Star Wars nerds who might be willing to pay $2,000 a night. $2,000 a night, thank you.
They're not gonna do that for the sequel trilogy.
well, no, it's $2,000 for the 2-night experience, which is basically like they basically march you around the hotel and like have you participate in LARPing stuff. You can't even leave
Nice job.
to go to the
Now
parks
open the
if you
doors so we can start
unless it's like an emergency, you can't leave.
No.
So it's
Leave.
it's not even like
Remember, Ricky?
it's not even just
Even
a regular hotel. It's like a cheap LARPing experience for the movies that nobody likes.
No wonder.
And they can't make it cheaper because then they'll lose more money on it because they need to charge people that much to offset the cost, you know, because people are gonna like it because Star Wars was just gonna print money for them.
Oh no! Imagine if they lost money on that hotel. That'd be insane.
Right? Oh crap.
Yeah, oh no, they've lost slightly less money. They've lost probably about the exact same amount of money they already have lost.
It's over.
It really does look like it might be over for Disney. It just gets worse and worse and worse by the day. Apparently, they're finally firing Kathleen Kennedy, though.
Finally.
Indiana
yeah,
Jones
but like-
apparently the last straw.
Oh yeah, because Indy 5 or whatever has like fucking negative review scores or something. Like
I didn't even know if Indy 5
it's, like,
came out.
negative. Oh yeah, it came out. Nobody
No,
wants to-
they released it at a film festival, like thinking it was going to be well liked, and did not have a review embargo
Yeah, so everyone.
because they want everyone to praise it, and now everyone trash it and like it's terrible. Don't see it.
You
Like
want-
a month before it comes, by the time it comes out, nobody's gonna see it.
You want to hear the funniest thing? Like one of the lines that's been thrown around is we didn't know how good we had it with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh
What
my
do you
god!
think- What do you think about that?
It's the
So,
prequels
and-
all over
yeah.
again.
And Bob
Never say
Iger,
top playing Lucas.
and yeah, so Bob Iger didn't tell Kathleen Kennedy about the Star Wars hotel that he was pulling the plug on it. She found out when everyone else did, and apparently, like in this LucasArts, they had to physically restrain her from like making an angry YouTube whatever tweet trashing him. And they had to be like,
I'm a
"No, no,
genius! I'm a genius!
Yeah, basically, she was like, "I'm a genius. How dare you kill somebody? Why are people seeing this? Oh my god, how could they? How
All
could
my
you do
things have
this?"
only flopped!
Yeah, and they basically like they had to physically restrain her from.
Did you get to your
And they're
Fangirls comic?
apparently Iger is having like a
Cosmic
meeting
Mega Babes?
with investors
Yeah,
to discuss
they
her
only
future
have
in the
the
company,
standard
and she's
edition
not
cover.
invited.
I wonder what that future's gonna be.
And John Favreau has already been told that they're giving him full access to LucasArts,
He also hangs around the construction site.
which
But if you go
suggests
there,
that they're
be
planning on
careful,
making him the next
Why?
because it's a
big
construction
Star
site.
Wars overlord master, because people actually liked the Mandalorian at first.
Anytime. I mean, like literally.
So yeah,
anytime. My life
apparently
is
it's basically been said that Iger has given Kathleen Kennedy countless chances to step down honorably over the last 2 years, and she's thumbed her nose at him all the time. So finally,
I mean, yeah,
he's-
she's. You could tell from the stuff that they put out and the fact that she hasn't like improved anything. She's an arrogant idiot. The worst
Yeah.
kind of idiot.
And so he tried to let her leave with dignity, and she refused. So finally, he set up the. He watched Indiana Jones. He knew it would be terrible, but he set up the film festival and review embargo thing on purpose to make sure it bombed and she got savage, so he could finally justify kicking her out. As someone said, she had several opportunities for a Viking funeral and she didn't take it, so now they're giving her a pinata funeral.
Well, that's what happens when you're too stupid to realize your mistakes.
What happens when you manage to somehow take the world's most profitable property
And tank it.
make it and turn it into a loss? Like, this kind of is impressive considering even Lucas couldn't quite manage that. Even Lucas struggled to make Star Wars, to make people dislike Star Wars that much.
He tried his damnedest, I tell you what. Weirdly, there's now like this weird resuscitation with the prequels. I feel like no, they're actually really good.
I mean,
And I think
apparently
I think it's just because like time has gone by and a lot of those people are like were really young when those movies came out.
It's like part nostalgia, part these people haven't watched them, actually watched them in a long time, and part like, well, what's the fucking benchmarks they're comparing them to? Oh, I'm sorry, they're comparing them to like 7, 8, and 9, which, I mean, even the most diehard people go 7 is the safest movie you could ever make. 8 is controversial, and 9's just trash. Everyone hates 9. I haven't even seen 9, and I hate it.
9 is just like, all right, how do we salvage something from?
What do we do? 9 is the epitome of what do we do, what do we do, what do we do? And even the people who defended 8 are like, well, this isn't what we wanted. And the people who hated 8 went, this isn't what we wanted. It's like, literally the worst of all worlds.
Yeah.
The people who liked 8 are like they should have just left it at 8. Why did they make 9? Like, because they'd already set up to make a freaking trilogy.
Yeah, the first movie was to set up a trilogy.
Like, the first movie was, and then Ryan Johnson decided, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to do my own thing and subvert people's expectations. And what about the next movie? Oh, I don't know. That's somebody else's problem.
Next movie, I'm not working on another movie.
Hey, no one said I was working on the other movie, so I don't care.
He decided to pull a Zeb Wells. I'll just come into this place. I'm going to come into someone else's house and ruin everything.
Honestly, I kind of respect it. It's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, that movie's also fucking doomed to Marvels.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that like, isn't that straight up the most disliked MCU trailer of all time?
It is, yeah.
And I haven't even watched it. I don't even know why it's the most disliked. I just...
Brie Larson's
think-
already complaining that, like, they stole her thunder by putting in the other 2 Marvels in there instead of giving her a Captain Marvel 2. People were like, well, what did you expect?
Welcome to the
That was
next
just,
film.
that was just a really bad call. That was like...
I'm
hey,
sorry, Bree, that the other 2 are actually more interesting than you.
was
But I
like
mean, you're a piece of wood, so...
Yeah, you could tell they really bet on the wrong horse. Where it's like, Brie Larson won an award, she's going to be a star in a few years. Let's scoop her up and make her Captain Marvel while she's too cheap. Oh, this was terrible.
Like here's the thing I'll say. As much as I'm annoyed with the way they've changed Kamala's Kamala's powers and everything like that, and like they softened out the edges of the character, the actress they picked is a great pick, and she's a good actress. So like,
You up there?
it's not Bree. It's not their fault that they're better than you.
He's up there.
It's your fault.
Let's go beat
Also
Ma-
her
maybe
fault
try to
for-
have some emotions, Botox.
Also, maybe don't pick a character who's infamous for being a massive fascist.
The weird thing is, I don't even think she's Botox yet. I think that's just her. She just does not emote.
Oh, that's worse.
But like, yeah, I mean, obviously, it's the kind of thing where even people who seemed like they were really, getting. They were really like when it was coming out, people were fucking ready to die on the hill for Captain Marvel, and then it did just come out, and kind of nobody cared strongly one way or the other.
Like, honestly, like that's how I felt about the movie. I don't think it's particularly good or bad.
You hang out with them, do ya?
Like you could tell people were getting ready for this to be like the hot new controversy. People are gonna hate this, and we're gonna be able to say they're misogynist, and we're gonna be able to say this, and then nobody cared, and then like nobody knew what to, and then none of those people knew what to do. It's like
There's more talk
Something-
about the actress than the movie because the movie is so meh.
Yeah,
Well-
the movie's mad. People just don't like Brie Larson.
Yeah,
It's a flashback.
because like it's just like it's not the worst thing I've seen. It's not the best. It's very much like a collection of like it's basically a by the numbers MCU movie.
I hated having to leave my friends behind. I
Like,
hate lots of
yeah.
things.
Is this gonna take long?
I was sure I'd never make another friend.
But
But
yeah,
at
so
the
it's
end
like
of
that
it,
movie. That's
boy,
kind of thing where that
streets
that
out.
movie's doomed.
His name was Cunha. He seemed
Ant-Man and Wasp
nice.
fucking bombed.
It's nice. Now where
Guardians
is
is doing
he? Are we gonna get
okay.
the story?
Not only did Ant-Man and Wasp bombed it, it heavily set up
We read comics together.
Kang, played by that one guy, and now they can't use him anymore.
Like, oh, has he been cancelled?
Aw, see, that's
Yeah,
sweet.
pretty
Like
much.
What did he do?
Cunha's in
What did he
it.
do?
Then
Uh,
one day,
he apparently
a girl transferred to our school.
Beat his
Her name was
girlfriend or
Hasabe,
something.
and she
God
was
damn
an
it.
angel. It was the
God.
first and last
It's
time
Ezra Miller all over
It's,
again.
it's Ezra Miller all over
It
again.
even is because they're doing multiple versions of the same character.
Okay, you gotta step up your game now. Now you gotta pull a Grand Theft Auto.
It's
You gotta
Ezra
start
Miller,
human
and-
trafficking.
And they're like, oh crap, we don't think we can get away with just trying to ignore it like Ezra Miller did.
was already there. And so was
It's not so
Well,
much get
especially-
away with. It's more of Warner Brothers being stubborn and run by idiots.
It's more like Warner Brothers being like, that was the only good movie we had.
On Hasabe,
Crap.
on every
I don't think it was a good movie.
I mean, that's still up for debate. Everyone
With the
who saw
CEO
it-
that's there, I don't believe him.
later, middle
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
apparently test screening said it's pretty good.
Yeah, but test
Well,
screening
I'll-
audiences also said that the actual novel ending from I Am Legend was bad, and then we got the shitty ending in I Am Legend, so I don't trust them.
Alright, look,
never again.
we'll work on the basis that none of us have seen the movie, and so we can't say for definitively if it's good or bad. What we can say is Ezra Miller is a piece of shit.
It's true.
You even meet her?
And good thing Kang is now done, so that's them fucked on that strategy. I mean, I guess they could just recast him and then say, oh, it was just an alternate universe.
Another
This is-
Kang.
Yes,
This is the real
Ant-Man and
Kang.
Wasp. Yes, they've already established from Ant-Man and Wasp and Loki that all Kangs look like him. So now they're gonna have to double back on that.
So either tell us who took him.
No, well, we said that was fake. Well, that wasn't Kang. That was fake Kang. That
Like
was
I
a
said-
Kang bot.
So I guess we were wrong.
It's a Kang bot.
Always insulting me. Always treating me like dirt.
You look.
I mean, I guess that would be the fit. That's the ultimate like break glass. In case of emergency, break glass. They pull out Doom.
About to pay off.
But they can't pull out Doom for another 2 years without having to give money to Fox.
Maybe they just have Doom appear, but they don't call him Doom. And they just show you a guy in a hood, and it's like, who could this be? And then as soon as 2025 hits, boom, it's Doom.
So it's like no more. Or rather, whatever he was in Black Panther 2.
Who?
Like they're like it was Namor, but like
Oh, Namor. Alright.
yeah,
I haven't watched Black Panther 2, man.
I haven't either, but I just remember this. They were
Who
like,
has?
they were like Namor shows up but like they call him. It literally like they call him it's Namor and like they're very very careful to make him like legally distinct from the typical character just enough to avoid having to pay royalties to the guy who created him.
I know how they can make him legally distinct. They can just not have him because Namor sucks.
I agree.
Namor's not even the best, like, fucking King of Atlantis in comic books.
He's not.
He's not even fourth best.
Yeah, but he flooded Wakanda in that one comic, and that's the story they wanted to use.
They wanted to do. Wait, that was Avengers versus X-Men. They wanted to do Avengers versus X-Men in a movie where they can't do the Avengers because most of them are dead or not existent, and they can't do X-Men because legal reasons.
I mean,
and then they
couldn't do-
can't even use the character who did flood Wakanda. What?
I mean, they
Okay.
couldn't. I mean, they couldn't even use Black Panther because he died.
Yeah, 'cause seems like a movie that was cursed.
It was cursed, but they were like, well, crap, we gotta do something because it was so popular. we'd already started setting up the movie before Chadwick Boseman died of cancer because he didn't tell them he had cancer because he wouldn't have gotten the part.
What a Chad move.
Honestly,
Chadwick
yeah.
move, you might say.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, yeah. So it's like he didn't tell Disney he had cancer because Disney would have been like, well, then you're not Black Panther, are you? We're
Huh?
banking the future of the franchise on you.
I suck.
Honestly, I respect the hustle. No,
That
no,
reminds
no
me of-
joke, no irony. I respect it.
It's
No,
like they bet the future of the franchise on Captain Marvel and Black Panther. Look how well that turned out.
One of them would have, but unfortunately, yeah, and the other one was Brie Larson.
We won the battle,
Yeah.
so tell us where our boyfriends are.
Man,
I have
I
no
always
idea.
do snicker about Captain Marvel because you fucking know when that movie came out, they were desperate.
We missed it
Desperate
pretty
to try
bad.
and like just say, oh, this is like the first full female-led superhero movie, which wouldn't have been true, even not counting Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
They were fucking desperate to try and to play that angle, and they just couldn't because Wonder Woman pipped them at the post.
Because that was their plan. They wanted Captain Marvel to be their first female-led Marvel movie because they wanted to push Captain Marvel as being this major character. That's why they kept putting off introducing her, like in the Avengers movies, like Joss Whedon wanted to. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Joss Whedon actually probably would have done that better.
Probably. There was hesitation, but honestly, yeah.
You know, he wanted to build up to her. So he was going to introduce her in Avengers as just a random Shield agent who would be important later. And then he wanted to introduce her in Avengers 2 again in a similar way, and he kept being told, no, you can't introduce her yet. We want to introduce her in her own movie to make her a big thing. So, okay, and so they waited while trying to figure out whatever brilliant person they were going to cast to make this amazing character come to life, and they decided to go with Brie Larson because she won an award, and they were like, oh, she's going to be a superstar in a few years. We got to pick her up.
Whoops.
And not only that, her career didn't really go anywhere. Like that
No.
one win was the fluke, and
That
she hasn't really done anything.
She literally
since.
peaked with that.
The only other movie I think I've ever actually seen her in. I mean, there's probably other stuff she's voiced or been like a cat or been like a minor character, but like the only other movie I can think of that's like is the Kong movie. But I'm like, every time she's on the screen, I'm like, get out of the way, I want to see Monkey.
That's she
Honestly,
was
it's
Scott
fair.
Pilgrim.
Oh yeah, she was
Yeah.
the Scott Pilgrim.
And I forgot
always
which one
forget-
she was, to be honest. I like that movie, and I
that's
forgot.
how you could tell she's not been Botox because she was just as unexpressive back then.
You know what's funny? I forgot which one she was because I think Trey and I had a conversation about this, maybe in recording. And I was like, oh yeah, she was the girlfriend, Ramona's girlfriend. I was like, no, it's Scott's. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, she was Scott's old girlfriend.
Because I remembered the Ramona's girlfriend, because the
because
actress had emotion.
Yeah, that was Mae Whitman.
I remembered Mae Whitman. I feel bad. I'm sorry, Mae, that I
That was-
compared you to Brie Larson.
There was Mae Whitman doesn't show up on camera very much anymore, but she can emote because she does a lot of VA gigs.
I'm sorry, Mae. You know, putting you next to Brie like that was really unacceptable of me, and I apologize.
Yeah. No, it's just because people remember Mae Whitman's character. They don't remember Brie Larson because she was only in like 2 scenes.
And was just
That's
and
all.
singing very monotonely.
And well,
Pretty
yeah,
sure.
and she and the all people remember from her second scene is Brandon Routh.
Which I mean, to be fair, it's Superman.
Yeah.
Everyone likes Brandon Routh.
Everyone does like Brandon Routh.
I got no jokes here. Let's.
Even the Flash crew like Brandon. I mean the CW Flash crew like Brandon Routh to the point where when he guest starred on the Flash after he left Legends of Tomorrow, they kept making jokes about how the Legends were not good enough for him anyway. They're like, just forget the Legends. They didn't need you. They didn't know what they were doing, throwing you away.
But yeah,
Well, that's finally over, by the way.
it's all over. It's dead.
Except for the Superman show, and that's probably going to be ended next year too.
Probably.
So, yeah, too bad.
Is it too bad? It had plenty of chances to improve, and it.
I know
and
it had plenty of chances to
every
improve.
single one of those shows, like, went full Kathleen Kennedy. They had ample opportunity to.
I know they
fix
did.
their problems.
The problem. I mean, they were good briefly in like for
It
like
was,
maybe
20
2 years.
2014. 2014 is the peak.
The first season of Flash.
The first season of Flash, actually good. Those seasons of Arrow, actually, because that's like seasons 2. That's actually a good show. That was actually a good show. It's like, wow.
That was pretty much like season 2 of Legend of Tomorrow was also a pretty good show.
So it's like, because you know what season 2 of Arrow gave us? Mirakuru. It gave us Slade I Like Swords Wilson.
Yeah.
It's like hit after hit after hit. We got Flash with fucking the original. It was me, Barry, but I always thought of you like a son, Cisco. Stab. Like fucking actual, mwah, good actual good shit. And then they fucked it like incredibly quickly. They fucked it. But there was a brief year, where we thought we had a chat. We thought, hey, we've done it. We've fixed our problems.
But no.
Nope.
But no.
And there was Batwoman, which was never good.
No. Batwoman was the one I kept joking saying was funded by Nazi money.
I mean,
Anyway, I think this is a good place to stop. We're closing into an hour, and I beat a boss like a couple of minutes ago. So this is kind of a good place to stop for today. Come back next time for more us making fun of Brie Larson, I guess.
she knows what she did.
I mean, I guess in the end she wins because she has more money than any of us will ever have.
The horse is dead, but
Yeah.
I enjoy beating it anyway.
Is it dead? Because there's a new movie coming out, and there's press tours, interviews behind the scenes.
That's true. The horse isn't actually dead.
It's
yet.
true.
I guess we have to keep beating it until it's.
The horse has got its second wind. Get your bats ready, boys.
It's resuscitated. It's back, and it's got new gloves on, and now it's jealous of its co-hosts, its co-actors. It really is mad over its fellow actresses.
Get your bats ready, boys.
Its eyes are glowing red as it looks at the little Middle Eastern girl and is mad that she's more popular.
We can beat the shit out of this horse for ages to come.
She was hoping for her white privilege to come into clutch.
Alright, now it's definitely time to leave.
Yeah.